Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stated that he wants to work directly with US President-elect Donald Trump and is open to his ideas. This highlights Kyiv's desire to keep its most crucial ally on its side despite Russia ramping up its attacks. Of course, we will work with Trump. I want to work with him directly, Zelensky said in an interview with Sky News published on Friday, adding that he does not want people from Trump's circle to ruin their communication. I want to share ideas with him and hear his ideas, he added. The United States is Ukraine's largest provider of military assistance, and Kyiv is well aware it needs to stay in Trump's good graces to secure future support. According to the U.S. State Department, the government has allocated $64.1 billion to Ukraine's military efforts since Russia launched its full-scale invasion in February 2022. Zelensky described his discussions with Trump during his visit to New York in September as warm, good, and constructive. He said the talks were an important first step, but more detailed negotiations would be needed until we have a real plan where Ukraine is strong. Zelensky noted that his chief of staff, Andriy Yermak, would soon travel to the U.S. for meetings, including with Trump-appointed Special Envoy for Ukraine, Keith Kellogg. Kellogg advocates for a ceasefire and peace talks between Moscow and Kyiv, which would include security guarantees for Ukraine to protect against future Russian invasions. Zelensky told Sky News that Russian President Vladimir Putin, however, is not ready for negotiations. He does not want to stop the war, Zelensky said. The Ukrainian leader added that he hopes Trump succeeds and that the U.S. plays one of the most important roles in ending the war. Before winning the election, Trump repeatedly claimed the Russia-Ukraine war would not have started if he had been president. He also vowed to end the war, sometimes asserting he would stop the years-long conflict before taking office. In July, he said he could settle the conflict in one day, without providing further details. Zelensky's comments came amid an escalation in the scale and intensity of the conflict, as Moscow increasingly uses non-nuclear ballistic missiles. Over 1 million Ukrainian households were left without electricity on Thursday following a massive attack on critical energy infrastructure. On Friday, Putin threatened to strike Ukraine again. He also praised Trump, calling him a smart and experienced politician capable of finding solutions. In the Sky News interview, Zelensky emphasized that Ukraine's allies in the US and Europe must better equip more of its troops and provide additional fighter jets. The country's eastern front, where Moscow is advancing rapidly, depends on the number of equipped brigades and air defense systems, he added. He also responded to widespread calls by U.S. officials to lower Ukraine's minimum draft age from 25 to 18 to address a critical labor shortage. I want to ask our partners to do their part, and we will do ours, he said. When asked by Sky News whether Ukraine would consider ceding part of its territory to Russia in exchange for NATO membership, Zelensky replied that such a decision could theoretically help end the war, but it would violate Ukraine's constitution. The invitation to join NATO must be extended to Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders. You cannot invite only one part of the country. You have no right to recognize occupied territories as Russian territory, he said. Zelensky has long advocated for unconditional NATO membership for Ukraine. However, it is highly unlikely the country will be admitted to the military alliance before the war ends. During the interview, Zelensky reiterated his position that NATO membership is currently the only path to victory. He admitted that he fears Ukraine could lose the war and, in particular, its people's independence. If we are alone, we will lose, he said.